What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to talk about Resident Evil 4 2005, the original version. Were most of you even alive during 2005? Let me know down in the comments below. I thought this was a perfect time to talk about it because I have just completed the game. I wasn't picking my nose, by the way. Sorry. I just beat the game, and I wanted to have a full-on discussion of the original game, how I felt about it, leading up to the remake that comes out, as I record this video, comes out 5 days from now. It's March 19th, so I believe that makes it like 4 to 5 days from now. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. And so I felt like it's perfect time to talk about Resident Evil 4. I just beat the game for the first time, by the way. I've always played it. I've beaten a couple stages, but I've never actually really gotten into the game until just now. So here are my thoughts about it. I just want to talk about it and really give this game some light. I know this game is already super hyped up. I'm sure the pre-order sales are through the roof. I've bought it twice. I bought a hard copy and a deluxe digital version. So I'm excited and I'm ready to go. And by the way, before you ask, why'd you buy 2 copies of the game? That's just what I've been trying to do since I've been able to be financially sound enough where I can afford it twice. I buy it twice because these games that I love, I want to support the developer any way I can. So I'll buy 2 copies because having the digital, I can play it at midnight. And for my job, it's like I'll take any chance I can play it that I can get. But also, I want the physical version because at the end of the day, I am a physical edition guy, so I have to get them both. But anyway, that's besides the point. If you like this video, would you mind leaving a like and subbing to the channel for more videos like this one? And definitely click that bell and stick around because we plan to do an episode of our Deadhead podcast on this, as well as reviews and discussions and things of that nature, and more Resident Evil content to come. So with that being said, let's talk about Resident Evil 4. So you'll probably see some gameplay pop up through this video, and really, I wouldn't even say the gameplay is that great. I didn't record a lot. I mean, I recorded a decent chunk, but in small segments. I just wanted them to aid in the video. Not really anything specifically, just to give a little bit more visual aid than just looking at me talk about a game for 10 to 15 minutes. So where do I begin? You know, when I was a kid, I didn't really make it too far in this title. You know, I was... I played a lot of games back then, but I was more into like small RPGs. I was into platformers, so I wasn't really too into these types of games. But I remember holding that PS2 controller in my hand, and I'm playing, and I kept getting my ass kicked. And that was one of the reasons why I put it down for so long, was I just thought it was too dang hard. I hated the controls. That's what kept me from really enjoying the game, even though I love the concept of Resident Evil. You know, as you guys know, this is the Deadhead 96 channel. We have a freaking zombie as our logo. I love zombies. So, of course, I'm going to love Resident Evil. But something about Resident Evil 4, I just did not like. So, anyway, fast forward almost 20 years. And I'm playing it. Well, I just beat it for the first time ever last week. And, dude, I get the hype. You know, I didn't really ever understood it because to a lot of people, this is their favorite Resident Evil. And I think it's for a number of reasons. One, it's a third-person perspective. Third-person shooters, arguably, in my opinion, are some of the best games out there. I'm not much for first-person myself anymore. That's why I can't really get into these multiplayer shooters like Apex and Warzone and things like that. I like third-person. I've always enjoyed that way better. I prefer the God of War style, The Last of Us, Resident Evil. I prefer Resident Evil, not 7 and 8, but and I know before you say, well, in Village, there's actually a third-person mode. Okay, but the game was made for you to play in first person, though. Let's be honest. I mean, yeah, I know they have like a third-person mode, but have you played that? I'm not saying it's bad, but you know, like, just looking at it, you're like, yeah, this is supposed to be told from a first-person perspective. And that's okay. That's just what they were going for, and I get their vision. But third person, to me, I feel like is more immersive. You know, and it's kind of crazy because you would think that first person games would be more immersive, but I feel, I don't know, being able to see your character, looking over their shoulder and playing the game, I don't know, something about that I enjoy better. I like seeing my character, you know, I like that point of view a bit better. This game kind of started that, and it really, to be honest, like in a lot of these big budget games that have come out in recent years with God of War and especially Last of Us, the Last of Us creators have literally come out and said a huge inspiration for their game was Resident Evil 4 because of what Resident Evil 4 did for the third-person genre. It was one of the first ones that did it, and then one of the first ones that did it well. And it does do it really, really well. Now, something that's really, really annoying, you can't move while aiming. And I don't know what the thinking process was there. And that's one thing I can't wait to see in the remake. I know it's so simple because we've seen so many games that do it now. You have your Uncharted and you have the remakes that have come out where you can move while aiming, and all so many other games, Gears of War, all these like huge third-person shooters where you can move and aim at the same time. But that's going to be a nice feel to have in this game because a lot of the reasons I died in the original game was because I was so stationary I couldn't move. And I'm sure I'll have a couple clips here where there's like so many enemies on screen. Now you're probably thinking, well, when you get swarmed, then you use your spinning back kick or spinning hook kick or whatever. And yeah, but I still feel like it's so stationary. However, I will say this: even though you're so stationary, you have all the tools at your disposal. This game is just pure chaos. I love all the weapons, and even for a game that came out in 2005, all the weapons feel so good. They feel so toy. They're toy like a toyga. If you know where that's from, put it down in the comments below. But yeah, like the controls feel nice and tight, man, and I was really enjoying the gameplay loop. I never once got bored in an encounter. The only times it really sucked was when I'm running like a chick with his head cut off because I didn't have any more ammo. So I'm literally just like slicing and dicing, and it's like, you know how that goes. And in the remake, I know your knife breaks, so even if you run out of ammo, you can't really just sit there and abuse your knife, man, because it'll break, and then what do you do? And that's a neat little mechanic that I do like with the remake. But it'll be interesting. I say that now, and I haven't played the game. But, I do like that. I do like there's a little bit more strategy to how you take on your enemies. But with the original game, it's just really, booting it up for the first time and you getting to that first wooded area, it's just like a sense of dread. You know what I mean? When you start hearing, like when you walk into that first cabin and you see that guy and Leon has these cheesy lines like, excuse me, sir. You seen this girl? Like, it's just like the way he's talking. Sorry, I asked. Like, shit like that. And you meet that first Ganado, and he swings at you. You got to kill him, and then the house gets swarmed. And you got to go up the stairs, jump out the window. It's just really, really exciting stuff, man. And it's like parts of those are iconic. That's an iconic opening to a game. You get to the village, and everyone's attacking you, and you got the freaking, for some reason, man, Capcom and Resident Evil, they love their enemies with chainsaws, man, and they're goddamn indestructible, it seems like, because they're such bullet sponges. But he's chasing you down. You have all these Ganados coming after you, and then a bell rings, and they all go into the chapel. And Leon says the famous line, "Where'd everyone go? Bingo." And just that cheesy one-liners and that whole segment, it was so intense. Even a game that came out so long ago, I'm like running around like frantically looking for supplies and trying to make sure I got enough room in my inventory. And it's just really, really well done. And I can't wait. And playing, I played through that part in the demo for the remake, and it felt just as intense. And probably when I play it in the main game, it's going to be the same intensity that I got from the original game. And I feel like when you can recreate that, I mean, that's pretty special. And I think this remake's going to be special. But we're not here for that. We're here for the original. And I really like those tension-filled scenes, even though this game focuses more on the action part of it. I will say the antagonists are a little corny with Sadler and Salazar. They're very, especially Salazar. He is a very, very corny villain. And I think what's the other one? Kraus, I think is what his name is. He was hired by Sadler. He was the one who kidnapped Ashley in the first place. Yeah, he's a little corny as well. But you know what? I'm fine with it. It fits. And that whole last segment of the game is a little wild. But, it's super fun. And I was having a good time playing it. And yeah, I just, even with the corniness, the very B-movie tropes it has, I was still enjoying myself. Between the one-liners and then the dialogue that wasn't the greatest, it was just really, it was really fun. Speaking of things that are really fun, and I say that sarcastically, Ashley Graham, the president's daughter, who you're supposed to be saving in this game. Yeah, she's an annoying sack of shit. But you know what? Going into my first official playthrough of this game, I was hearing that she was so hard to take care of, and you were constantly having to save her, and there'd be lots of game overs because someone is taking her, and you can get to them fast enough. I don't know if it was the difficulty I was playing on, because I was playing on normal. I wasn't trying to have like a really hard time. I just wanted to play the original game all the way through so I can compare it to the remake. I didn't feel like she was too annoying. There was a whole lot of, Leon, help me, Leon. Leon, help me, Leon. I did hear that one a lot. But all in all, like, you're able to find which one has her. You shoot him one time, he drops her, and then you're pretty much good to go. You can tell her to bring her ass over, and she'll run towards you. So it's annoying, but something that definitely can be like, I can play the game. It doesn't completely break the game having to help her. But yeah, I like, you don't meet a whole lot of characters along the way. You got Ada Wong. Of course, she's pretty much a big statement in this franchise and very mysterious. Again, kind of funny. She's wearing like this dress that's so revealing and tight, and she's over here flipping around and shit. But I digress. Whatever. Louise or Lewis, he's apparently a police officer, but he's actually not. That was just a like kind of like a ploy almost. You get to meet him, and he doesn't have a big role in the original game. I think in the remake he should have a little bit more time. So I'm looking forward to seeing a little bit more reactions with the side characters. And I thought the enemy designs are really, really good. The boss fights were really fun. I will say, I found out real quick using the RPG, you can pretty much kill any boss you want.
Allí están.
Or any enemy, rather. So I was constantly buying RPGs from the merchant. And by the way, what are you buying? What are you selling? Thank you. Stranger. I'll buy it at a nice price. Like, I heard that so many times, and each time I heard, I was actually really happy a lot of times to see the merchant. And I see that he's going to be back in this game, so it'd be cool to hear those lines again. I don't know if it's the same actor or not, but yeah, I'm one of the many things I'm looking forward to in this remake. But yeah, all in all, dude, I get the hype. I'm not going to sit here and say it's my favorite. I still think Resident Evil 2 is my favorite of the franchise. I just love the start of Leon and Claire's story. Leon, before he's like a full-on like John Wick type guy. Claire looking for her brother. I still think I prefer the Resident Evil 2 story, especially with the remake. The Resident Evil 2 remake is one of my favorite games of all time. But, all in all, I like Resident Evil 4. It's a damn good game, and I can't wait for the remake because I know they're going to add a little bit more of a darker tone, a little bit more serious, and I'm kind of interested to see what things they'll take away and what things they'll add in. I know this will be a bigger game. I know that they said that it shouldn't take you like too much longer than the original game to beat, but I think this game has a lot to offer, and I get why so many games pulled from it. It's really fun. And I'm sure it won't be the last time I play it. I think even the original has things that I really, really like. And so it's really cool to kind of be able to complete the game before the remake comes out and then be able to compare. So, yeah, all in all, like I said, I think it's a good game, and I think you should definitely experience it. I'm playing through Resident Evil 5 right now. And Resident Evil 5, like, it is not scary at all. It's got some, like, haunting moments, but nothing terrible. Resident Evil 5, I'm going to tell you right now, if they plan to remake that game, I really think it's unnecessary because that game, even though you can't move and aim at the same time, that game has aged like fine wine. The graphics look pretty good. A little muddy. I feel like honestly, if they want to remaster it, I'd be fine with that. Graphics are a little muddy, but if you just change the color palette and make the visuals a little bit more refined, give me more of a 4K feel, honestly, I don't see any reason why to upgrade. Like I get Resident Evil 4, like you see the textures. The textures are really bad, like huge polygons and stuff. Resident Evil 5 has aged really, really well. So I'm kind of interested to see what they end up doing next as far as that. But yeah, Resident Evil 4, good game. I get the hype. What are your thoughts on the game? Are you excited for the remake? And yeah, if you are, let us know down in the comments. Again, leave a like on this video, sub to the channel. We're going to have way more Resident Evil content coming your way. And yeah, Resident Evil 4 is a must play. So if you haven't played the original game, you got a couple days. TikTok says the clock, but dude, when you get a feel for the controls, it's definitely worth it. So anyway, with that being said, thank you guys for watching, and we see you next one. Bye, guys.